Okay.
Hey,
Hi
what's up?
everyone.
What's up?
We do the usual 2-minute shit where we try to see if other people show up.
Yeah, like FQ online আস্তে আস্তে কতক্ষণ লাগবে এটাই আর কি।
Yeah, so you only have the FKU.
ওই কাইসারের একটা আছে না ছেলে উচিত না something this guy he's like Kaiser's biggest fan.
Wait, hold on. Who's Solaire? Solaire কি আমরা চিনি? কেউ চিনি ওকে? It's probably one of your friends, right?
I think so. আমি probably চিনি. Yeah.
Probably.
I wonder if he's just gonna type. Now I don't know any of you in person. It's like completely like be an unknown entity.
আমার YouTube homepage দেখাচ্ছে 3 are watching, so that would be.
I'm not watching. It's not me. I'm not one of them.
আমি তো direct studio তে বসে, so it's not me. So we have to concurrent viewers right now. Yeah, that's why I said, do we know who Solaire 6344 is?
Solaire, do we know who you are?
I think he can hear us. এতক্ষণে বলতে হলে বলে দিত. Told you. Yeah, he just said. I actually don't know any of you personally. So we actually have a listener who's not one of our friends.
Hey, that's cool.
That's actually pretty cool. Thanks, man.
Let's throw a party now.
I mean, that's a big deal for us.
Right. Shit.
Gonna wait
so
for
what
a
minute. What are we talking about today?
Chadwick Boseman.
Ooh.
I mean, can we talk about anything else right now? What's your feed look like? আমার Instagram or Facebook তো মনে হয় মানে
Chadwick কে ভর্তি পুরো আজকে পুরো everybody's like Chadwick.
Yeah, so let's hit like let 10:03 হলে I'll just start.
I don't know, man. Chadwick Boseman I've just seen the Civil War stuff. I haven't seen
I've seen everything. I've seen everything.
Lucky you. I mean, I've just seen him as T'Challa. That's it.
I'm actually a fan, so I'm like.
No, I mean, he's definitely a good actor. Like, থেকে ওটাতে MCU stuff দেখেই বোঝা যায়.
Absolutely.
And I just watch listed one of his movies. I think The Five Bloods. Spike Lee movie.
Same thing.
2 days ago.
I watched it yesterday. For no reason at all, I watched it yesterday. I watched like 4 movies last night back to back. One of them was The Five Bloods. And anyways,
you watched it before, right? Five Bloods.
Yeah, I rewatched it last night. Anyways, it's 10:03. We actually have, I think, 3 or 4 guys listening in. So first of all, thank you guys for tuning in. And today's podcast will still probably be ourselves, and we'll still laugh and joke about shit, but it is not the topic we wanted to talk about tonight. As many of you know, before we go into that, we should actually go around and introduce ourselves. This is Thwip. This is our podcast. If you're here, you basically know that. So I'm Munazal.
I'm Rafi.
I'm Naveed.
Sleepy and Navel.
Okay, let's do that again. I'm Munazal.
I'm Rafi. Very sleepy.
I'm Naveed.
And I'm Rodro.
So that's 4 of us tonight. Rafi's probably going to go to sleep at any second. So the topic that we wanted to talk about tonight was the fact that today, early morning, our time, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther of the MCU, passed away from colon cancer. Everybody should know this by now because it's flooding everybody's, all your streams and stuff like that. So you should know that the guy is not around anymore. And we decided we wanted to talk about him because talking about anything else tonight just did not feel right. Not only because, a guy died. Guys die all the time. But because he was Black Panther. Hate him or love him, he was part of the culture. So that's what we're going to talk about. And for all of us at Thwip, at least the 4 of us who are online right now, we are personally affected by cancer in a very personal way. We lost Ahmed to cancer.
Yes,
so we understand what it actually feels like to actually losing a friend to cancer. And that, fuck cancer, man. That shit can go take a dive. And So guy was fighting colon cancer, and he didn't tell anybody apparently. So he was being very private about it. I mean, the last time I saw him on camera was I think about something with Black Lives Matter, and তখন সবাই বলাবলি করতেছিল, why has he lost so much weight and blah 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 and all that shit. And at that time I was like not really paying attention. I thought he was like preparing for a role or something. আর এখন বুঝলাম যে he had lost weight in the same way like Ahmed lost weight at the end, right? So that was a thing with the cancer. He was undergoing all this surgery and all this shit and that. So it's funny though. Like আমি আর রাফি কয়দিন আগে বুঝছো, so we were talking about this shit, like how Ahmed was the funnest guy and the funniest guy in the room.
Yep,
like
definitely.
he was in constant pain, right? And he was going through the chemos and the surgery, and he was more full of life than any of us.
And he was always smiling.
Yeah, right. And আজকে যখন এই Chadwick Boseman, when I was looking at all the stuff that he was doing in the 4 years. He's done like 8 movies in the 4 years, and 4 of them are superhero movies. And his physique, like he was built for Black Panther, and like that's insane to have built that and have that kind of a physique for a superhero movie while fighting cancer and meeting up with kids who are fighting cancer and giving them hope and inspiration. I mean, the man, it was the same thing. I think having cancer gives you a very unique outlook on life or some shit, man. যেটা আমি তুই বা আমরা বুঝবো না, because we are not capable of handling that kind of shit, and maybe that gives like Rafi was telling me that mama, maybe Ahmed mama had a outlook on life that we won't be able to see, because we are not dying in an accelerated rate. We're dying normally, but like we're not dying in an accelerated rate to actually understand how to look at life and live life to the fullest. I mean,
we'll never have money. I mean, personally, like I've always been keeping like Chadwick Boseman movies on the side. I'm like, he's young, he'll live. I can always catch up to his movies later on and stuff. I mean, like it's just sad when you like out of the blue, bro, right? In the morning, you're like, he passed away from like what cancer? I've never heard about this.
And
right?
I only found out like we have another group chat where we play Fortnite and stuff. So ওই group chat we have another friend Abraham, and he goes Chadwick Boseman's dead, and we never take anything he says seriously.
It took me a moment to process. Like even when I asked and you guys told me, I was like, wait, are you for real?
I think everybody had that reaction, right? Like,
right? Literally nobody knew about his cancer stuff other than his family.
Even on Facebook, like the posts I saw about him, there were people who like, wait, this is a joke, right? And like, everyone's having the same reaction.
Yeah, like every other day, I mean, news like Google, The Rock died, or Kevin Hart died, or like Vin Diesel died. That keeps on happening, right? Like I thought it was something like that, like Black Lives Matter, so let's make a prank about Chadwick Boseman dying. I thought it was something like that, and like it was then I had to check with like newsটা কোত্থেকে আসছে, and it was like only Associated Press, Epi was running it, and nobody else had the news back then. So I think Thwip আমি post করছি, I think like 18-19 seconds after the news broke, like like that was some kind of journalistic scoop on my part.
Right.
I was like and that the thing was আমি তখন ঘুমাইতে যাচ্ছিলাম, because I was up all night hacking YouTube, trying to get views and shit like that. So I was like,
normal grind.
So I was like reading up how to do all that shit and how to get views, because people don't seem to watch our shit. And that's when the news broke.
Listening. We appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, you can't believe the grind and the hard work it takes to actually even make one video, leave alone a video every day. So get those 30-40 views or 10 views or 15 views or whatever amount is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if one guy's listening or one guy's watching or 10,000. You appreciate that one guy most because somebody actually wants to listen to what you want to say. So we really do appreciate you. What is it now? 6 guys or 4 guys on right now? We really do appreciate you. So thank you for tuning in because we don't know how long we're here for. একদিন সকালবেলা Thwipকে হয়তো পোস্ট করবে Munazil's dead. We're in shock. I mean, particularly environment এখন যেরকম, with coronavirus and all that shit, like it doesn't.
Nothing is certain, right?
Yeah, like I was talking to again, I'm bringing Ahmed back up again, Barbar. But recently, I was speaking to his mom day before yesterday. His nanny died.
Oh man,
to the coronavirus. So that kind of sucks.
Huh.
So yeah, like I said, it's a shit time. 2020 is absolutely a motherfucking brutal year, and fuck cancer. So তোরা কি Chadwick Boseman এর কি MCU ছাড়া কিছু দেখোস নাই?
না, আমার কিছু দেখা নাই. I've just seen the MCU stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
My God, did you not even see the Russo movie called 21 Bridges?
No, dude, I told you, man. I was like, Chadwick Boseman stuff, I always put it away. I'm like, I can watch it another day.
I'm
young.
a fan. See,
I was rather catching up on old stuff and like the weird stuff. Jigula pore khujte post hobe. I was like, The Five Blood is already on Netflix. I don't need to worry about that. Amar jedin mood ashbe, I will just watch it. But I didn't expect him to just be part of the statistics right now.
Yeah,
now.
The guy in terms of working with certain people is he lucked out. I mean, obviously he had talent, right? I mean, one of the things is that's weird that I know about him is, do you know who paid for his education, for his acting lessons?
No, okay.
Denzel Washington.
Oh wow.
Basically, when he wanted to go from Harvard, he's from HU, Howard University, I think. And he wanted to go learn acting, and he didn't have the money for it, so he applied for a scholarship. And with scholarship, basically, if you find a benefactor, they will pay for your stuff. And then some guy just paid for his shit, right? So he went and learned acting on that guy's dime. When they're done, and that's when you go to pick up your certificate that you have graduated, then the guy who paid for the benefactor, then that's when you meet him, right? So he goes to pick up his certificate, and then he sees like it's Denzel Washington handing him over his certificate.
And this sounds like a movie in itself,
right?
And the thing is, Chadwick kept on talking about it. Or when he became famous, he kept on telling people. So Denzel was on, I think, one of the Jimmys. There are like too many of them. So Denzel was on one of the Jimmys, and then he was asked, "Is it true that this is what happened?" He's like, yeah. You better send me my money now.
Right.
He's a superhero. I'm the king of Wakanda. You better send me back my money. But so if you guys, I mean, those are the things, right? Like it was destined to be. Like it was in kind of a passing of torch, in a sense.
Right.
Like if you guys haven't watched 21 Bridges, like I'm বুঝতেছি আজকে আমারই বেশি কথা বলা লাগবে because you guys are not into his discography yet. So
filmography.
No, we'll add in. I mean, like, after seeing Chadwick's death, like, I was remembering Spartacus season 1 of Hero. What's his?
Liam something.
Nah, Liam is the second one.
Second one?
First one test was Andy something. I forgot
Andy
his name.
something. Yeah.
I was like, when Spartacus first started, like nobody, like Stars was talking just coming up, and that was their first big time show. Like they did Spartacus, and I used to tune in because I stay back in the States. So like the first season was really good, and I was really liking the way the guy acted. I mean, after he like suddenly season 1 shish, and then like suddenly it comes up he's dead. I'm like, wait, what? And like after pulling off one of his career's greatest performances, I guess, right? And he just like passed away. আজকে সকালে চিন্তা করতেছিলাম যে like মানে Chadwick Boseman was saying that চিন্তা করো last 4 বছরে the amount of good stuff that he's just like pooped out, literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Black Panther, this, that, অনেকগুলো শেয়ার আবার দেখছিলাম যে he did like দুইটা, he did James Browner biography, and then he did another movie called 42,
3
which is about some 43, sorry,
for
which is
for
about some baseball
James
players.
Robinson.
James
James
Robinson, right?
Robinson.
And I was
Jackie
like,
Robinson.
Sorry, Jackie
wow.
Robinson.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of like অনেকগুলা movie courses যেগুলো like we have no
No,
idea about, but
he's
খুবই
done
short period, না?
yeah. He's done 3 biopics. একটা করছে হচ্ছে
Hmm.
Jackie Robinson's 43.
Hmm.
He's done the funk guy, the funk. I
James
forgot
Brown,
the name.
James Brown.
James Brown. James
James
Browner
Brown.
movie. That movie, I think it's called Up something.
Get on up.
Get on up,
Get on
right?
up, get on up, get on up. Yep.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you know James Brown is that guy. Get on up.
Get on up.
That guy, right? So
The crazy guy, the crazy guy.
yeah, and that guy has a weird way of talking and moving and dancing.
Oh, you're right.
And that's really hard to emulate. I'm telling you, if you have seen Jamie Foxx's Ray, and this is the second best I've seen in terms of a biopic that a guy was pulled off the original guy, and it was crazy. Dance move থেকে শুরু করে, he even sang. So it was freaking crazy. I really suggest you watch it. Like I'm
প্রথম কোনটা হবে? What do you like the first? Like Freddie
okay. Let me back it up. First, Kaiser hello bolchi. So hello Kaiser.
Hello Kaiser.
We should bring Kaiser on one of these days.
Of course,
Put him on the other end. But
Kaiser would love it, man. Kaiser would be like so happy to be here.
So basically, আমি যেটা বলতেছি, since the first time I saw him was in a movie called Draft Day. Draft Day is a movie. তুই Draft Day দেখোস না কেমনে, এটা তো আমি বুঝলাম না।
আমি Chadwick Boseman এর কিছুই দেখি না। Like I said, I always kept him. I always thought the same thing. He's gonna be alive. I can catch up to his good stuff later on. It's just like you don't expect to wake up on a Saturday morning and like, oh, Chadwick Boseman passed away. I'm like you go what?
So like আমরা তো রাতে 4টা মুভি দেখে ঘুমাইছি. My wife went to sleep at around 5 a.m. and I was up till like 10. So I went to sleep at 10, and when she wakes up, the first thing I tell her is Chadwick Boseman is dead. She just opens her eyes, and the first thing I tell her is Chadwick Boseman's dead. And she's like,
that's not a pleasant thing to wake up to.
You couldn't wait till
before I brush my teeth and stuff.
Brush my teeth and drink my coffee and stuff like that. So I'm like, look, death's a part of life. You know, you can't say, you know, I could have woken up dead next to you today. You know, couldn't you have waited to die before I could have gotten my coffee?
Right, before I put on my makeup.
Right. So yeah, the first time I saw Chadwick Boseman was in a movie called Draft Day. And we are into American sports. Draft Day is about a GM played by, oh my lord, the Waterworld guy. What's his name? Kevin Bacon? No, not Kevin Bacon. Kevin Spacey? No, not Kevin Spacey.
Oh, dude, I've watched Draft Day. Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
right,
I've seen this movie. Yes. I've seen this movie.
Kevin Costner is a GM of a football club, and he's trying to.
I really enjoyed this movie. This was a great movie.
And the guy who keeps calling him, I think he plays a guy called Mac. A weird
Vontae Mac. Oh, dude, oh my god, I remember this Vontae Mac.
Vontae Mac is actually Chadwick Boseman.
Oh my goodness. I've seen this movie, but I didn't. আগে চিনতাম না মনে হয় ওকে. Oh my goodness.
First of all, that's racist. Super racist.
Hey, I didn't know him before MCU anyway. Like MCU te jara par like
yeah, well, you love this. You watched a movie. You like this movie. You remember the white guy.
Dude, I watched this movie because I was heavily into football back in the day because like I used to watch Draft and everything. So when this movie came out, like Draft, I'm like, oh, I want to watch this movie, right? আমার main entry was এখানে ওটাতে দোস টম ওয়েলিং ছিল, like a lot of people like PDD ছিল and everything, Terry Crews, like a lot of people were there. But আমার main draw ছিল, it was a football movie, right?
And it was a good movie, surprisingly good movie.
It was a great movie.
Right, and I loved it, and that's why it was the first time I saw Vontae Mac, and he was talking like this with this swagger and this southern accent, and he was calling Costner up and telling you should really pick me, you should pick me, don't go for the other guys, you should pick me. And it's so good. His acting was fun, and that's where I remember him from, right? So like when they announced that he was going to be Black Panther, and whatever story ta to abar sundor, like because he did Jackie Robinson and biopic. After that, he did Draft Day, and at some point he did some other movie. I don't remember. I think he did Marshall as well. Marshall is also a very legendary character in the Black community.
Okay.
So at that point, when Black Panther was coming on screen, Feige just had one name. There was not like 3-4 people's name, and then there was one choice that let's go with Chadwick Boseman. There was just one name. It was Chadwick Boseman. So they just
Black Panther or Marshall?
Yeah, for Black Panther.
Black Panther. Sure.
So Kevin Feige had one name. The Russos had one name. It was gonna be Black Panther. Was gonna be Mr. Chadwick Boseman. So they approached him, and that's how he became. He became Black Panther.
He was like a unanimous pick. When
They had there was no second choice, and the other guy was Michael B. Jordan, and they cast him as Killmonger.
The bad Killmonger.
So they had the two of the best black current actors, and they just cast them opposite each other, which is again, it's a shit thing to talk about, and me and Rafi were talking about this. We have to recast Black Panther as well.
Oh man, that's sad.
And it's not the time to talk about this. It's absolutely not.
No.
And so I if there's no Black Panther movie anymore, and if the MCU decides that which they won't, because it's $1 billion grossing movie, and it's a culturally significant movie. But if the MCU decides Jamra Black Panther movies korbo na, I wouldn't be sad about it. I would be absolutely okay with it, because there's certain things, right? You cannot imagine Hugh Jackman pore Wolverine onno keu korte pare.
না এখনো করতে পারতেছি।
Yeah, you can have a close approximation. You can have your choices and stuff like that. But those are iconic. You see, আজ পর্যন্ত মানুষ পারে নাই ক্রিস্টোফার রিভের জায়গায় সুপারম্যান অনুকে চিন্তা করতে।
না পারে না।
Cavill's a good Superman. Even Atom. What's with my names?
Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh, right? Brandon Routh, and he was the closest to Reeves Superman I've seen.
His movie was basically a sequel to Reeves.
Yeah,
Superman,
it was.
Man, he also looked. From certain angles, he also looked like Reeves as well.
He does. So nobody has been able. So there are certain iconic things, and I know a lot of people did not like Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, and not a lot of there's a lot of people who didn't like him as
really. Wow. Huh.
I mean,
who would they rather have?
I don't know who they'd rather have.
Like what? Who? Tyrese Gibson? I mean, oh my goodness.
Rock.
তাহলে তো Black Panther হবে না, Samoan Panther হবে।
Dwayne is like, I'm not really black, so I'm gonna put Black Adam.
Yeah.
Black Adam's not really black.
No, he's not. He's Middle East, right?
Middle Eastern, right? Yeah, he's Middle Eastern. He's from Iraq, I think. It's called.
Karak nale Balia somewhere.
Kandak. He's from Kandak.
He's from Kandak.
He's from Kando land. So basically, that's how he became Black Panther. And talking about Black Panther, I mean, boli ekta jinish, I go back and watch those movies, and the Russos handled him as Black Panther much better than Coogler did him in Black Panther. That's my point. That some people don't like him as Black Panther. Like, if you go watch Civil War, and
his interaction with Zemo made the movie for me, man.
Oh man, that scene, even that rivals the final scene with Killmonger. But Killmonger stole that scene, and the scene with Zemo, he stole that scene. So and I mean সত্যি গুনলাম আজকে বসে I counted it. How many meme worthy and how many iconic dialogues in literally 4 movies he has compared to the guys who have been around for 10 years. Like, think about it. Give that man a shield. I don't freeze. Freeze. Then I went into Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze instead of Black Panther.
Wakanda forever. Let's not forget, dude.
and Wakanda forever. And then we don't do that here. So,
we don't do that here.
you
তারপরে ওই যে যেটা এখন চলতেছে সবাই ছাড়তেছে যে
delete that
death is
footage.
not the end. Death is not the end.
In my culture, death is not
In
the
my
end.
culture. So like he has
I'm,
lots of. Actually, I would say যে ওই Civil War Black Panther character I
and
really
like
like.
yeah, right.
But
Look at how
that guy was like majestic. He was like serious. When he was like, "Oh, Captain America ka face ko, I don't give a f. I will take down Captain. Amar bakire dhorte hobe. I don't
Dude,
care
he
who
was
comes in front of me.
scary.
I am."
He's
He was
crazy
scary, dude.
intimidating.
When he was like Captain America, like they're like মানে গাড়ি চালায় যাচ্ছে, this guy is just like running পাশে পাশে, he's running after them. You're gonna be scared. Guy in a Black Panther suit, right? And ওখানে when he starts fighting, he's like, I don't care who you are, I'm catching Bucky one way or another. I don't care. To me, Captain America symbol of peace out, like, who cares?
and see that's where the line I don't care. It's like so many heroes have said something like in that vein. But think
Right.
about it. Like every time we say it now, in terms of like quoting movies, we are quoting him right now. I mean, shit like that was the rock stick. If you think about it, AJ, so what's your name? I give a fuck what your name is. That was the rock's thing.
Right, right.
He did the exact same thing, and he went, "I don't care." And you're like, "Okay, yeah, that's fucking iconic."
Right.
And that's and the line delivery, his line delivery in Civil War, this is where the director things come in, like act director to character, like the Russos handled Spider-Man and Black Panther better than their respective movies did, which is fucking insane to me. Like Black Panther in Civil War was this regal, quiet, self-assured, confident, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, he was king.
He felt like a king. Come to Black Panther, he still had those things, but he was more like unsure of certain things as well.
I felt Black Panther, I think Michael B. Jordan's character, Killmonger, was pushed more than Black Panther, right?
Yeah, but that's because Coogler is friends with Michael B. Jordan. One, like they're really good friends because they did both the Rocky sequels. Creed. Yeah, so they're really good friends in real life. Act number. Do you number? Coogler has a theory that he pushes the villain more than the hero. So he believes that the hero.
If you watch Creed Part 2, you'll
So that's his theory. And the thing is, Killmonger carried that movie. I mean, he single-handedly Michael B. Jordan, and that's the casting thing I was talking about. The only guy, bless you, the only guy who could have actually taken over the role, they cast him as a villain and killed him off.
Right? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
that's two movies Michael B. Jordan has, like come and gone through the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic and this one.
So like I said, and he brought the character with a lot of dignity, right? And the most important thing is, like, I was watching this video আগে দেখছি এটা, but I was watching it today again. There was this video that one of the Jimmys did. I don't know which Jimmy. They're all white. They look the same to me. One of the Jimmys did a thing where people would come and talk to a poster of him and tell them what the movie means to them, and then he would burst out from behind the scene and would actually ওদেরকে সবাইকে হাত টাক করে,
That's Kimmel.
That's okay. Yeah, well, the other Jimmy. Okay, so do that, and you could see that the representation for a black movie that's not really a black movie in the sense. Like, if you look at all the other black movies, right? Like, what we understand, black movie, and YouTube, don't cut this stream out. We're all people of color here, so we can we're not being white and being racially insensitive. We are actually people of color. We are POCs, and so like আমি যখন একটা black movie চিন্তা করি, আমি দুই রকম মুভি চিন্তা করি। একটা হইতেছে কি একটা whole, there's a family, and family is doing family shit, and family there's this weird uncle, like Eddie Murphy family type, and which was carried over type of একটা movie, like whole family তে খাওয়া দাওয়া হচ্ছে, soul food হচ্ছে, এই সেই হইতেছে। Or I think of this rom-com type of movie where this older black woman is getting her groove back, type of shit. Like,
right? Mani either it's either a media something family, mani
oh yeah,
media
that's what
movies,
I'm saying. Media movies. The media movies
media
are that.
movies, or it's like or the love movie. I totally get what you mean. Like
Yeah, see,
black
that's
people have these rom-com movies যেখানে they have like everybody like জাতা মেরে ঢুকায় like 11-12 জন
yeah,
hero heroine থাকে.
right.
It's like that's how they sell those movies, I guess. I mean,
And then
I
there's
always
other
found it
niche type
funny.
of the other niche type of movie, that's the Maurice Chestnut movie. The Maurice Chestnut is a handsome, powerful guy. He has a wife who he loves, but this white bitch is in love with him and is like trying to
Huh.
steal him away. And that's the
Huh.
other niche that's coming up these days. But that's the
Huh.
kind. ওইটার বাইরে কিন্তু you don't really think of a black movie, and that's very,
Nah, you
or
don't.
you know my love for black exploitation movies, right?
Oh hell
So
yeah, hell
like
yeah.
I've been
I
I've
mean,
been
even to me, Shaft was a pretty much black exploitation movie.
Yeah, right. These are all black exploitation movies, or there's a certain type. So Black Panther, for the first time, it was more of a movie that you can't say it's a black movie. It's an American superhero movie about an African king.
Right.
So even though everybody was black and most of the cast was black and the behind the scenes people were black and the director was black and all that, it didn't feel like a black movie, and that is insane to think of in Hollywood in this day and age.
Right, that's an achievement.
Right? A movie that's with black people but doesn't feel like a black movie, So even though white people probably couldn't say anything about it, they were like, "Acha, thik ase, we're gonna get mobbed and shit." I think they went and enjoyed the movie as well. Like,
yeah, it was a fun movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
oh, dude, আমি বলি, right? আমার Navid's friend Adnan and I, you know the story, and I was in the premiere, বাংলাদেশের ঢাকার যে premiere হচ্ছিল, and I was in the premiere before anybody else could see the movie. I was there, and I had an extra ticket and the entrance to the premiere, and I'm like with one other friend. I had three, and we were just two of us. And one of our friends, Adnan, came to buy tickets for Naveed and for Bappi, and for me actually, because we were supposed to go and watch it the next day. And Adnan comes in with his umbrella and shit, and
he's a kingsman. He's a kingsman. He carries his umbrella.
Hello, Riyasad. So he comes in and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm buying tickets for tomorrow." I'm like, "I'm watching the movie right now." He's like, "You have an extra ticket?" And I'm like, "Actually, I do." He's like, "Can I come along?" I'm like, "Okay." So
that must have been such a weird conversation.
And my other friend, he's like, and my other friend is someone Rodro knows. It's Tanvir, right? So Tanvir is like standing there, and he's like, "Is that your friend?"
What is going on?
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my friend." So why do you talk to him like he's a robot? I'm like, because it's hard to explain. Let's just go. And so Adnan is like a robot and shit, right? So he takes his free popcorn and free water and free drink, and he comes in, and then he refuses to sit next to me. I'm like, I brought you to this damn thing. You're only in a premiere because I let you in. He's like, "No, you pick this seat. This sits in the middle. I want a higher seat." I'm like,
Oh my god!
"Fuck off then. Go find a higher seat." So he goes off to find his own seat. Like 5 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, "Nobody wants to sit with me." I'm like, "Yeah, I figured that would happen."
You're a robot fucker.
He like sits down next to me, and he's like a robot. We call him a robot because he's very emotionless. And like halfway through the movie, right, I look over at Adnan, and he is clapping, right? He is actually full on clapping and whooping, and it's like he's literally forgotten the sense of time and place and where he is, and he was enjoying the hell out of that movie. And that's how good a movie Black Panther actually was.
Right.
I mean, that's the best thing I can give that movie, that because I loved it. The first time I watched it, I absolutely loved it. Like, pore dekha ami, that's a Lion King remake, or that's nothing really special.
But first watch it.
The first
I think you had the same reaction with BVS.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. We talked about that Vietnam flashback sequence in BVS.
But we talked way too much about that movie.
Yeah. So like when BVS basically what am I talking about? When Black Panther basically came out, right? And I was watching that. and it's the same. The world building, right? The costumes and the mythology and how they got vibranium and all the how you become king and the rules and the systems, and Shuri has technology and all, and the vehicle design and everything. It was like they created a world that was fully realized and that was lived in.
Would you say it's almost like ধরো it's almost akin to Jack Kirby creating the আমাদের কি বলে থরের নাম কি
Asgard.
Asgard, হ্যাঁ Asgard-এর যেরকম ধরো ডিজাইন মানে it's খুবই specifically different. Same thing with Wakandaও কিন্তু ছিল. Like everything was very different. Like nobody had seen এরকম একটা সিরিজ that can, you know, they're inside a dome, they're very technologically high. মানে the trains have like, you know, কি বলবো hard light, anti-gravity, hard light signals and everything. মানে খুবই distinct. মানে to me it felt like অনেকটুকু থরের অ্যাসগার্ডের মতো, যে like Jack Kirby যেরকম বানাইছিল, it's a mythical city.
Yeah, but Jack Kirby is the one who actually made Wakanda as well. So AJ গুলো এগুলো তো Jack Kirby Wakanda করা. And funny thing is, today is Jack Kirby's birthday, and he's the creator of Black Panther. So on his birthday and on Jackie Robinson Day, the guy who played Jackie Robinson and played the character made by the Jack Kirby, he died.
He passes away.
It's fucking ridiculous on so many levels. It's just hard to believe. But yeah, so you know that Wakanda thing, Wakanda je world building ta korsilo, it was amazing. Like the first sequence where they like, it's good to be home, and you know the whole view stretches out and you see Wakanda. The closest analog or the closest experience I had to that similar one was in Aquaman, to be very honest. You know, James Wan is a similar type of director, and he did the same thing for Atlantis. And
right, you never expect that kind of visuals plus like imagery, and you know we've never seen it with first time at a grand scale. And comic book কখনো দেখাতে পারেনি জিনিসটা, মানে you see pictures and everything, but like underwater, you're at the bottom of the ocean and it's like lit up and everything, it's dark. Comics is always like lit up, right? It's never dark. So when you see it in the movie, it's just like same thing. You're absolutely right. Like Aquaman had that, Wakanda had that, and when I watched Thor 1, যখন প্রথমে দেখাইছে, I was like, bro, like wow, এটা কি দেখলাম? My God, this is amazing. The world itself. Thor movie 1 wasn't that great, but the world itself was like really amazing.
I'm gonna talk about that another day because Thor movie 1 is one of my favorite MCU movies. But it is. I can break it down like.
I totally get. Sure, definitely. We'll definitely talk about.
I'll break it down one other day, but yeah, Thor 1 is one of my favorite MCU movies. Acha. And the thing is, Jack Kirby je banano world ta. You know, the thing about that was the tech was very, you know, like it was African tech. How that sounds so racist. It was black tech. Like, you think if Africa was technologically advanced, this is what their tech would look like. This is what the buildings would look like.
Right.
This video is gonna get shut down. But like, it was like, and like Atlantean tech is like Atlantean tech. It's underwater tech. Like that whole thing is understood by the fact যে কিভাবে করে আর পানি নিচে থাকলে টেক এরকম হতো. It's the same. Africa থাকলে in a world that nobody knows exists, the buildings would look like this, and that's amazing. And the visuals of that, like, dude, he wore Punjabis for fuck's sake.
Right.
Like,
it was nice that Coogler was able to bring out that world, and the Chadwick Boseman was like, he was pretty on point on how T'Challa should be. এখন scripted জন্য he had to, like, you know, because I guess তুই যেটা বললি যে Ryan Coogler likes to, you know, push his villains more.
Yeah.
So I can't really blame, but Chadwick Bosemanকে যা দেওয়া হয়েছিল, he just like rocked whatever he was given.
Absolutely.
Pretty much. He never like কখনো দেখে, মানে especially আমার Civil War টা আজকে খুব মনে পড়ছে. I'm like, he really was good in Civil War. প্রথম দিকে I genuinely, when he starts talking, when he starts fighting, you genuinely like, oh my God, this guy is a threat to Captain America. Captain America ke parbe er sathe Allah jane.
Like
you were like
literally we were questioning যখন আমরা ট্রেলারে দেখছিলাম, wait, Is he with the heart-shaped herb kayas? How is he running this fast? Does he have superpowers? Did MCU give him superpowers? So, and the thing was key. That was
And
the kind of
we've never seen this kind of Black Panther in comics. Comics is always like the Black Panther.
Comics are recently into like since Hickman took him. My lord, dude! Avengers.
Nah, Hickman to those chinta koro. Hickman, I think it's after the Black Panther movie, right?
No, before the Black Panther.
Before. But আমি বলতেছি যে ধর in the time where যখন মাঝখানে Black Panther loses his he stops being king, he gets kicked out, exile করে দেয়, তখন Daredevil comics Daredevil left. This was after Shadowland আর কি. So Daredevil চলে গেছিল, তখন Daredevil T'Challa is out of a kingdom and Daredevil was out of Hell's Kitchen. So তখন Daredevil gave T'Challa the reins to Hell's Kitchen. So T'Challa that arc was really good.
That was very good. Yeah, I remember
that was really good. তখন like T'Challa has no tech. He's just wearing a bodysuit, and তখন you really get to see him like at his full power. মানে ও কতটুকু what he's capable of and everything. Yeah. But a suit, I think that's kind of new because Age Black Panther, the suit never was this technologically high. You know what I mean? It was always like the Panther God gave him the powers and stuff.
Yeah, but it was basically when he first appeared till for about 30 years of his existence, it was just a suit. It was not vibranium laced and vibranium tech, and that was leaned into on a
spandex.
Yeah, it was just basically spandex kind of a thing, right? But no, in his first appearance, he beat the Fantastic Four single-handedly.
Obviously, he's King Panther, dude. He gets powers from the Panther God.
So he was that was Black Panther in comics has done some amazing things. I remember this one line from don't remember. It was either Ta-Nehisi Coates's lekha or Hickman lekha, and he goes, some villain shows up in Wakanda and goes, you don't know what to expect. And BP goes, yeah, that's all right. I've been training all my life for the unexpected.
This was the Black Panther the miniseries 8 issue with Ete Bosula.
Oh man,
John Romita art. John Romita art.
Such a badass line, right?
That was such a badass comic book itself too.
Yeah, that was a great run. So, but the thing about যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে Civil War, if you go and look back at it, he didn't have a solo movie before. He just got introduced in the middle of Civil War. And
right, absolutely.
Boseman brought so much personality and so much character to the role. You're immediately like, yeah, I feel for this guy.
Right.
That scene that's being, এখন সবাই করতেছে where he's holding the ring and he's telling Natasha that in my culture that is not the end. And he's looking down all pensive and all sad and stuff like that, and you can see his determination in there. That's fucking awesome. That's really, really, that speaks a testament of the man, how good an actor he was.
No, for Chadwick Boseman Civil War, I totally bought it. Like I could feel the rage he was feeling. I could feel one could feel his rage, his determination. Then like আমি ধরেই ছাড়বো. Bucky's not getting away from him. He was determined. Like I'm Black Panther. He's not getting away.
Like that's why I like half of Civil War. I don't like
second half.
I don't like the second half. I just like till the airport fight. I love Civil War because Black Panther was awesome and all that. And এরপরে তো became a family drama. তুই আমার মারে মারছস, তুই আমার বাপরে মারছস, তুই আমার দোস্ত হয়ে আমারে কষ্ট নাই, ও তুই আমার দোস্ত চেয়ে ও আমার দোস্ত বেশি.
There were so many like backstabbing in that movie.
You two killed you two white boys killed my parents and didn't tell me. It's like that bullshit aside, like Civil War, my highlight was T'Challa, and I love that movie just because of T'Challa. And
for Mother Trilogy, even till the end, T'Challa was the one who Zemo's সাথে ওরই কিন্তু last interaction to Zemo was like, kill me. He's like, no, I will not taint my hand with your blood. Like he says something akin to that.
No. Zemo tries to kill himself. He's like, the living are not done with you yet.
Yes, right. He stops him. He's like, that really.
He blocks the bullet with his hand.
It's not that big of a scene, but setup is just like he's a king. He has to maintain that justice perspective. he could have killed him easily, but more the UN would have gotten involved, the Avengers would have gotten involved, everybody else would have gotten involved. So he's like, I have to be a king. No matter how much I want to kill this guy, I still have to abide by the laws. And but to me, it was a very it was a very important scene, even though it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it.
It was like, I remember Ota Dekhar Pore, I was making this joke that Aquaman has a lot to live up to. If if DC does the Aquaman movie, and Aquaman has a lot to live up to in terms of, like, I like Aquaman, and they did a fine job with it. Aquaman is one of my favorite DC movies.
Aquaman was a full-on action movie, but
but like
Civil War Black Panther thing was not full action. It was more talking. And...
No, but in the comics, in the sense that I was talking about, was basically, Black Panther, T'Challa is the king, and Arthur is a king, and in the comics, Arthur is very regal.
Zack Snyder, they never show his kingy size. They never show him kingy.
Like, even if I mean to Young Justice repeat na to Young Justice deklam prothombarer moto, and even then whenever Aquaman shows up, or even Khal Drogo when he becomes Aquaman, they have that regal sense about themselves, decorum, and the way they talk. You're like, okay, that's a king. That is a fucking king,
right?
And I always loved that about Aquaman, but I got it from T'Challa in a way that I did not expect that I would get it from T'Challa. Because T'Challa, like, look, that regalness, like in the comics, when you read T'Challa, T'Challa is always arrogant, kintu.
Right.
He's basically like, yeah, you come to Wakanda, boy, I'm gonna whoop your ass, or stuff like that.
এখানে আমি কিছু করব না, তোরা white county তে আসছ. But you come to Wakanda, you're in black county, I'm gonna mess you up.
Right, and so he's basically ওই জায়গা থেকে he's very in the comics he's more arrogant and more inclined to fight. But when they bought him into
he's a fight monger, right?
He's very short tempered and very he gets into fights and shit like that. Like the first time he meets Fantastic Four, he beats them. Like Mayamuda, like মাইটটা দিয়ে চলে গেছে থিং এর পিঠের উপরে উঠা কি করলো. And she, like, every time he meets Doom in the comics, and Doom is being all regal and kingly, and he's like, I want to fight. Stop talking, let's fight. Or
Doom
even
never fights with Black Panther, does he?
No,
he avoids that fight.
No, he says I think in the Tehesi Coates run, he straight up says that I'm not gonna fight Black Panther because that's a fight I cannot win.
Oh boy.
And when Doom says that, like, Doom যখন এই কথা বল, because the thing is, like, and in the
Tehesi comics say he never touches Wakanda. He goes after everybody else, but Wakanda ধারের কাছে যায় না. He's like, I ain't going to that black county, no way, man.
Even when the Skrulls show up in Secret Invasion, and the Skrulls show up to Wakanda, and there's a Skrull army in Wakanda, and they're just T'Challa standing in front of this entire army, and he's like, basically, the Torakichas, and they're like, we want to take over Wakanda, we want the right. And shit like that, and the camera sort of pans out, and you see the Wakandan army behind him, and guys got like 8080s, vibranium 8080s, AT-ATs and shit like that, and people flying on saucers with spears, vibranium spears and shit like that, and the Skrulls are like, yeah, okay, we'll come back later. We're gonna see we're gonna see what the mutants are up to. And
we're going to San Francisco, thank you very much.
Cyclops is like, and so
San Francisco ঢুকতে পারবা না.
Screw it, just gonna fight the Avengers. These guys are easy.
এখনো মনে আছে, like I was reading X-Men the end, the 12 issue comic, the 6টা মনে ছিল, right? X-Men the end.
It was 6 issues, I think.
First arc I was like laughing because the Skrulls, the Captain Marvel race, the Kree, তারপর আরেকটা কে জানি ট্রায়ার, তিনটা রেস আসছে দেখে মারতে একসাথে. I'm like, what did they do? Oh my goodness. He expected
X-Men,
some more weird
they,
stuff.
yeah.
He makes something else.
In the Marvel comic universe, nobody really fucks with Wakanda and the X-Men. Black
No,
Panther,
they don't.
nobody messes with Cyclops and nobody messes with Wakanda. Like এই দুজনের সাথে like even in Dark Siege, when Norman Osborn tries to take over,
He doesn't go to Wakanda.
he doesn't go to Wakanda. He's like, yeah, leave Wakanda alone.
And then he gets kicked out of San Francisco. X-Men are back there.
And then Cyclops is like, Acha, why are you here? We're gonna beat the fuck out of you. And then Norman Osborn is like beating the fuck out of Cyclops. The Cyclops একটা হাতও তুলে না. He just takes the beating. And he's like, I'm giving you a chance to give up. I'm giving you a chance to surrender. And
Leave.
Just leave. I'm not gonna do anything. Just leave. And Cyclops পিটাইতে থাকে ওরা পুরো Dark Avengers মিলে. And then Cyclops at the end he's like, okay, fine, I've had enough. And then all the mutants are standing behind him and they go, we're all X-Men. And then Osborn is like, okay, yeah. I'm only running away because I don't want to commit genocide.
Same avastha. I don't want to fight Wakanda because I might commit genocide. Stay away from that place. Either আমি genocide হবো নাহলে ওরা genocide হবে. Either একজন না একজন is gone.
Genocide is happening.
Genocide is happening for real.
I mean, like Amar Chadwick Boseman's favorite scene are scenes where he speaks very little, or he like my favorite scene of Chadwick Boseman is when Cap's standing there facing Thanos, and on your left, and the portal opens, and T'Challa walks in with Shuri and the other Dora Milaje. What was her name? I forgot.
So you even know who they are.
Yeah, so basically when they walk in,
Mission আর Shuri ছিল.
Mission from Walking Dead. And they walk in and Cap looks at them and he goes, "Oh, thank God." and T'Challa looks at Cap and or Bhuru Kuchkano and he's like, he looks down and he goes, I got this. Calm down. I got this. And there's no dialogue. There's nothing. Just aste kore tinjon they walk in with nothing, and you're like, yes. It's my favorite T'Challa moment. Like, and the second one is like they're like, "Acha amra ki korbo? Gauntlet niye ki korbo? Amra ki korbo?" And T'Challa is like, "Give it to me."
Give it to me.
He doesn't have a plan either. But he's like, yes,
give it to me. Give it to me. I'll kick some ass.
I was like, it's like, that's what I'm saying, right?
For Infinity Warrior to just chill when Thanos comes for a full army near like Wakanda attack korte ashe. He's like just like barrier to loita kore and then Wakanda forever.
Dude,
like, just like everybody rushes in.
Think about how iconic that line is. Get that man a shield. Like that became an instant meme for like years.
Right. Like trailer দেখেই শেষ মানুষ এটাতে.
You know, his legacy to the black culture is immeasurable, but his legacy to the meme culture is even greater.
Oh man, invaluable.
As long as memes exist, we'll remember Black Panther.
Yes, we will.
But like I said, he was a great Black Panther. His movies were great. I'm so heartbroken there's not gonna be a Black Panther 2 with him starring in it. And I mean, Marvel's probably just gonna recast, so that's a different conversation.
Yeah, Marvel's not gonna give up on this franchise.
Yeah, it's $1 billion franchise.
At least do a legacy thing instead of just recasting T'Challa.
No, legacy. If they're smart, if Marvel is smart, they'll do what the comics did. T'Challa চলে গেছে, Shuri takes over as the next Black Panther. But if they want to really, that's gonna be like big step, like black movie, female lead, female can kick ass, and that's like it's like a dream come true. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Shuri is trending on Twitter today, so basically people are also expecting the same thing. That Shuri is gonna be.
Disney, it's all about princesses.
That girl, whatever her name was, she's not the Shuri of the comics.
No, she's not.
Who can go hand to hand with T'Challa? That's not the same character, so she's not gonna be able to take it. I mean, they might go a weird way. Jodi boli, they're gonna bring back Killmonger and make him Black Panther.
But he did.
Comics.
ওরটা মারি ফেলছে তো। ওর
Yeah,
মাথা কেটে ফেললো না, লিটারালি চপ হিজ হেড অফ।
Wakandan tech লাগাই ফেলাইছে আবার জোড়া লাগাই দিছে অসুবিধা নেই and
Nah, I don't think they're
no,
gonna do.
that's not a bad move কিন্তু think about it.
I don't mind it, but করবে না. I don't think
He
like.
in a sense he is legacy. He is supposed to inherit the crown, and so ore niye aisha ore Black Panther banai dio, we get a good actor as well and all that shit, and that's a way they can go if,
বানালে আমার কোনো ইস্যু নাই, but they will still have to address মানে real life it. Black Panther is dead, but Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman is dead, but how are they gonna movie they need a proper spin যে like আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে let's proper তোমার যদি background না দেয় for how they got Killmonger back as ওরে Black Panther বানাচ্ছে তাহলে কিন্তু it won't work. I like
Yeah.
the idea of bringing him back and making him Black Panther the new one, but if they can't give proper background to that change তাহলে প্রবলেম হয়ে যাবে, তাহলে দেখতে জিনিসটা খুব
আমার
jarring লাগবে।
আরেকটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে Black Panther 2 তো they're definitely going to have to kill him off screen, and
Yeah, oh good
man,
lord.
that's
Jyoti,
gonna
oh god.
because they can't really
Oh
say,
boy, I just realized that. Oh,
they can't really say যে he's often ওরে বাই করে দিছি আমরা exile করে দিছি, they're going to have to do that also off screen, so their best bet would be to kill him off screen unless they do a whole Paul Walker thing or something, and
না Paul Walker Disney করতে পারে, Disney has like ওদের নতুন I was watching the one and only Ivan, their CGI animal hair movement to mouth movement body movement face
the tech
expressions
exists. I don't think it's an issue with tech. Again, this is a topic I'm not really we shouldn't really be talking about. The guy just died, but if Disney wants to, they can actually do a number of different things. But we're coming up to the end of our session today. I'm just gonna recommend a few movies. যেহেতু I'm guessing Naveed the Rodro movie দেখে নাই, two of my Rodro বেশি movie দেখে না.
I know about the movies.
I'm just going to recommend a few movies. I would really number one recommend, if you're into sports movies and you want to see a movie that's not really about sports but behind the scenes, Draft Day is a great movie.
Thumbs up.
The James Brown biopic is a great movie. The Jackie Robinson movie is okay, not that good, not that bad. It's borderline. But the movie that I would recommend you guys to watch is actually 21 Bridges. It's executive produced, or well, in terms of movie, it's produced by the Russos. It stars him as a cop, and it's about some people robbing a bank, and the city New York has 21 bridges, and he closes down all 21 bridges, and he hunts the bank robbers down.
Oh.
And
is he a cop?
He's a cop. Everybody around him is a dirty cop. He's a good cop, and it's got superb gunfights. It's got some great hand-to-hand action. It's a good movie. I really, for your action junkie in you, I would. And he brings his that regal demeanor and quiet pensiveness about him. Which movie আছে. So I would really recommend that as well. And the other movie I would recommend is a movie called Message from the King. And he plays, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong about this, I've seen it a while ago, he plays a brother looking for a sister, and it's from Africa, and he comes to USA to look for his sister, and that's a great movie as well, Message from the King. Do you know he was in that shitty ass movie Gods and something?
Gods.
The Crow director যে একটা মুভি বানাইছিল না, কি জানি নাম?
Director?
No.
Yeah, the Crow director made a movie, Gods of Egypt.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. Chadwick Boseman is in that as Thoth, and he wears all.
I'm literally googling this stuff right now.
Yeah. He plays Thoth in Gods of Egypt, and he wears a golden headdress and lipstick and all that shit.
Oh yeah, he is Thoth.
And his power is basically he's multiple man in that movie.
Cool.
So there's a line, careful, I outnumber you, and so he's like basically multiple man in that movie. So yeah, if you want, Gods of Egypt is a weird ass movie, but if you want a good movie with pretty good special effects and a time pass movie, that's not a bad movie to watch.
I always avoid gods of Egypt for some reason.
No, দেখতে পারো. It's really bad. It's a really bad movie. But if you have like nothing to watch, and you know you just want to watch something that's like
When it's,
time pass,
it's running in the background, you're doing something else.
it's something else. You can watch it. এরকম type of. It's not bad, and just watch it in memory of Chadwick Boseman. You know, so he has another movie coming up. So I think that shooting was done and all that shit. So that movie should be good as well. So yeah, that was us talking about, well, mostly me talking about Chadwick Boseman. I thank you guys for staying till the end, and I hope to see you next week when we can talk about stuff that's a little more uplifting. So for tonight,
thank me too for being here.
Thank you for being here, even though
You're welcome.
You don't have broadband in the house. Thank you for turning up, and thank you for talking over, staying there while I talked over you, Rodro.
Rudo was like the silent assassin and Luke actually is like, I'm gonna strike when they don't expect it.
And is Rafi actually asleep?
Rafi's sleeping.
And like I said, guys, if you know, I usually don't get personally affected by celebrity deaths, or you know, because like I don't really know them. So
personally,
but yeah, there have been 3 deaths that actually has bothered me a lot, and one of them was David Bowie, the other was Carrie Fisher, and the third has been Chadwick Boseman. And I hope you guys learned something listening to us tonight, and I hope you guys like I'll be rewatching Civil War tonight. I know that, and you know I hope you guys go watch something of his other than an MCU movie. And The Five Bloods is a great movie as well, which is by Spike Lee. So he has worked with some of the greatest directors in the industry right now. So that's about the Vietnam War, and that's a great movie as well. So you know, you can watch that. That's on Netflix. And we'll see you next week when we can talk about something more uplifting. We'll probably talk about something anime related next week, because we haven't talked about anime in a while, or manga in a while. So that's it from here, all of us here at Thwip tonight. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you again.
Signing out.
Signing out.
Signing out.
I said absolutely nothing the entire time. Good night.
I hope you had a good sleep, man. ও জায়গা ছিল তাও কথা বলে কত শালা হারামি না